it's continuing in Losh. So there's a tshuva of Mesha. So Mesha says in the right-hand column on the bottom.
The bottom.
It's Gimel. If Linig Lamaisa and Sinus Mashkan Mekam of Matzah Vadaisa, Sidamel Shaltinik Fishasam. So, how do we, how are we supposed to act when it comes to putting in water into matzah milk? How much matzah?
What?
So daisa is like porridge of a child. How are you supposed to mix
what?
it?
No. What?
So the Mishnah says that we can make if it's a blue ladaka. What's the type of blue ladaka? So blue ladaka, there's different opinions. So the Shulchan has an opinion. He says that anything which is which has a regular thickness that it's made with, anything which is softer than that, it's already blue ladaka.
Should be softer than what?
If it's whatever has a regular thickness that it's usually made with, if it's a little softer than the usual way it's made, so then it's considered blue ladaka. So that's basically, he says if it's you could drink it, so then it's, of course, it's not even lisha, no problem with Losh. Anything which has thickness, so if you make it a little more thin, so then it's already blue ladaka. Not a shin, it's a blue ladaka. Now blue ladaka, which comes out at certain times, the chumrah. We're saying that a lot of things which might be thick, which we're going to say a lot more things are thick. That's the way they're usually made. But the Peskim, Sheikh Halevi, Chazanish, and Parkash wants to learn that, and this is the way the Vel takes on, that blue ladaka is defined by if it's able to be poured from one keli to another keli, like it's able to be poured. It doesn't mean that it's like you can drink it. Drinking is not a problem with Losh at all. Something
It could be pretty thick and still be pourable. It could be real thick. Cement is pourable.
It's not really pourable. Say if it's
Liquid enough.
it's something that you could pour. So then it's not that it clumps and clumps full. That's
Oatmeal.
not like a clump falls. I'm saying it's like is able to pour it. So that's called blue ladaka already. And that's the first hatter, which that's the first step of making it mutter. We'll see some few more steps in order
Like
to make
oatmeal or something like that?
like oatmeal, and we want to talk about baby cereal.
Oh yeah. But that also comes in a way.
So
It's not a clump. It's
let's see, baby cereal.
like a powder.
Like a powder, right? It's like flour, like a powder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is obviously, let's see.
You allowed to do that on Shabbos?
Oh, hold on, we're just starting. First step we want to make is that it should be a bli l'raka. Because if a bli l'ava, you can't, that's for sure, there's nothing to talk about.
Can you stir it from ava to raka? What you're doing now,
So,
you're breaking it up, into more did.
if it comes, right now, see what happens right now?
It's something, yeah.
I can't pour it, right?
No, not really.
Not really pourable, right? It's thick. It's like a dip.
Right.
So
you change it
So
to
that,
floor.
if you do that, there's no way you can make it on Shabbos if it's thick. This doesn't apply to oatmeal, it applies to, not only to baby cereal.
That's
it
cold
applies-
water. That's just cold water.
That's cold water, right.
But we're not talking about anything about the official Shabbat, the Shlishi.
No, I'm using cold water now. Saying for a baby, you can maybe use lukewarm. You maybe want it to be a little warm. So, that's the first thing that Mesha says. And yesh lahaka b'li l'raka. Once it's a b'li l'raka, once it's soft, you could be mekel. Shhu d'Rabbanan. Which then, if it's a b'li l'raka, let's make a b'li l'raka taka. B'li l'raka is if a b'li l'ava, which the way we just made, if you're going to do such a mixture on Shabbos, you chayiv. Chayiv for Losh. Chayiv because of Losh. Let's see. Now I made it more liquidy.
That's the rice, or that's the Rabbanon, that's
This is getting a little better. Right?
Eventually.
Getting a little
You put
better.
enough water in, it will get better.
Rob, Losh is not the rice, is it? It's the Rabbanon.
Love is Losh is midiraisa. Now, so you have
Now
to.
you can probably pour it.
Yeah, sure. For sure you can pour it. So you make it like this.
So that's mutter?
So you make it like this. This is the first step of making. This is midrabanan so far. It's also midrabanan
Oh.
so far. But we're going to say away how we do a shinoi and we're able to help it out. Now, kataka can be mixed, right? Kataka. I might.
It's still clumping around, it's not really pourable.
Pour it.
It's transferable.
Because I made it in the beginning, yeah. So. Right, so. The first step is b'li l'raka. Once a b'li l'raka, it's ready only midrabanan. It's ready midrabanan. That's the first thing the Mesha says. In the yesh l'haka b'li l'raka shedrabanan. Harei v'achilka malataz v'sim shem chafala sukat niralef. Matinim mishinei she'ike b'gemara the neisnim tchila hamachol tchila v'achikach hamashke. Lo yidu olei. Basically, he's talking about the son of Mishnah Brura. Mishnah Brura brings down the. Look in the Mishnah Brura in the. In the second side, the first page, second side of the first page. He says, "I am Mataz, Nun Zayin." It's a katan Nun Zayin. Katan the also lare v'shav shal pesach kamash eisen kins matzah for you matzah meal. You can't mix it. Litna b'yayin midvash with water or midvash after dama the shasisa. Even though it's limited to shasisa shulchin gas, even though it's not grinded like flying flour. V'sham mutter baraka. Over there we say it's mutter if it's soft. Hainu or aydeshine if you're a shine. Now, the MS. So what's the shine that you make? If it's tzarich l'shane. So in the mechaber, the third line of the mechaber says, "Vafilu barach." Mechaber on top the mechaber says. In the parentheses it says "Vafil barach," even if it's soft. Tzarich l'shanis, you have to make a change. Keitza nesan hashasisa acha nesan hachemes. First he put in the shasisa and afterwards he put the hachemes. So usually,
You have to make a shino from what the regular way is, right?
So whatever, right, exactly. So whatever the usual way is during the week, if during the week is to first put in the
oatmeal and then you put it in the water.
Right, so then you have to do the opposite. Right? So So he says, but what if you don't know what's the normal way of doing it during the week? So that's what the Taz, the Mishabru is bringing from the Taz, and continuing the Taz, matzah meal, they don't know what they usually do. Which way do they usually first put in the matzah meal and then the wine, or first the wine and then the matzah meal? They don't know which one you do. They lay the mahuashina to know which one's the change. Akin aser, therefore the Taz says, okay, if you don't know, so you don't know how to make the change shine, so you can't do it. In Meisa Harba, if you're making a lot, it's aser.
I'm sure we don't go across that road. Most people put in first the baby cereal and add water. You're a machine.
I'm not saying in this case. I'm saying the Taz is talking about matzah meal. He says matzah meal, we don't know. However, right? If you don't know which way is the normal way, then yasa shini the fashion Gemara. You should do what it says in the Gemara to change. What does it say in the Gemara? First you put in the food, and then afterwards you put in the liquid. And so too in Chakakiv. No, that's about something else. You should shake the kale. You shouldn't mix with this one. Okay, so fine. So back to the Mesha. So what's the Mesha saying? Back to the Mesha. He says, you can be makel in a blue larak, something soft, shvud rabbanon, which is only the rabbanon if it's soft, if it's liquidy like we have. Like most of the people, like you brought, Shabru al Yerabba, Fakaki, right? Which they argue on the Taz, and they allow it the shinish shika b'gemara. If you do the difference which says in the shini, which says in the Gemara, the nascent tchila machal, first you put in the food, and the machal chamashke. If you don't know how they do it during the week. But if you don't know what to do, so you only do this, only rely on this, only tzedek gadol. Again, the hachal a tinnik, to give food to a tinnik. But late tzedek gadol, you should lesser kataz. But if not, without a shini gadol, without a tzedek gadol, so you basically should ask like this. If you don't know what to do, so don't. Okay, so first we were discussing making baby cereal. So first step, when Ramesha says, is it has to be a blila raka.
Right.
So showing what's discussed, that blila raka, it means that you're able to pour it. Like if it's like you could drink, like it's a drink, so there's no problem with Losh at all.
Okay.
But it's saying that something which is able to pour like this, we made something able to pour, so then it's
Blila raka and it's good.
blila raka, and it's only the rabbanon. And so we had examples of a blila hava. You'll see if you just make less, so then it's just like a dip. It's not.
The dip is not pouring.
It doesn't pour.
Right.
It's like
So then
it's
it's
like
Losh.
stuff. Yeah. So then it's a problem in Hatayra. It's a problem in Losh.
He has a different what is made out of
No.
the cereal.
No, because when you pour it, it's
It's dust.
it's like dust. It's
Right.
powder. It's like flour.
So it's almost making like more than
Like making
Losh.
making
challah.
dough. Yeah.
A dough. So minatere,
Like cake batter. So this is a problem.
if it became hard, you can't do it.
Right. So this is this is a problem. You can't do this mixture.
Right.
You pour it over here, whatever it is. I'm saying go back and forth a few times, and pour in a drop, whatever, and you mix it. And put in too much.
Whatever. So
And a little more, whatever.
Are you the one who makes the baby cereal for your babies, or you?
Obviously not.
I see this is very.
no, there's a measurement. They told you put this amount for this amount of water. Right?
right.
They told you.
Right.
So you're trying to make it hard now?
Yeah, I'm just showing a hard example hard that it's going to be. It's not going to really pour.
Right. So this is also.
So this is
Right. So such a thing.
So if something like this you have to do like you do, what you do, you put more water.
Oh. So you're saying first step is you have to make a blue raka.
And make a difference what you put first, the water or the.
Oh, now, so the next thing which we're saying is that there has to be a change. Change is what you put in first. You first put in.
Normally you put the cereal first and then the water. That's a
So
normal
what
thing.
do you usually do? So it
Yeah,
says
the
like
normal
this.
thing you
You
measure.
look, so one of the ways you can find that is you
Okay.
look on the
Box.
look in the box.
Fill up.
And
Wake
fill
you
it
up
up.
and ask
It
her.
says
says-
fill up 3/4.
Put the desired amount of cereal into a bowl.
Right.
And then stir in, afterward you put in breast milk, formula, instant juice, or water to be desired. So it seems like the first thing is you first put in
Flour.
flour.
Actually, my wife says she does the opposite, but yeah.
So whatever she do, in Shabbos she has to do the
I
opposite.
saw that in fact, if you look over here. Yeah, so
The point is you have to be a shinui. Whatever you do, you should be a shinui. It doesn't make a difference what the company says. Do this for this.
Like we do make
I
coffee.
saw right
on
in fact
Shabbos.
you say
Make
that.
it a sheet.
Coffee?
Yeah.
First you put the water,
Yeah.
then you put the coffee.
Yeah, but not during the week.
No,
During the week, you put the
coffee.
coffee and the
Right.
sugar first, then
And then again, it's not lush. Over there, it's not lush because it's really. It was cooked already, the coffee.
Alright,
And
but if
the
you
only
don't
thing
know,
is you make it
It's a
a
liquid
mush.
already. There's no, it doesn't start.
so I think if I said that if you don't know, so then look at the box. You don't know what's the
Right.
normal way. Alright, but if we know the normal way, so then you just do the opposite.
Tomorrow the box tell you do that.
So exactly. So over here it says it's so let's say you don't know at all how it's usually made.
Right.
So the Taz says if you don't know at all, so that's it. You can't make it. That's what the Taz
You
says.
might go into the rice, Isra the rice.
It's not Issa Deraisa because it's only B'Raka. But since
if
we
you
don't know how to make the shinne, so you can't do it.
Right.
That's what the Taz says. So but we just saw that the Chakyaki and Mishra Bruder brings and the Rabbi, which they say that if you don't know, then you do what it says in the Gemara. The Gemara said you first put in the machol and afterwards you put in the mashka. That's the shinne. That's the shinne. That's if you don't know what to do. So the Mesha says that you could rely on it for a tzedek gadol, for example, for a child, for a tinnik, or baby cereals for a child. If they need food, so then you could do it. But
Or you have an old man. It could be an old man that cannot eat,
Right.
and that's the only way to feed.
Right, but generally, if you don't know which way to do it,
Who's the cereal first and then put the water?
if it's not a tzedek gadol, he says we're gonna have to. So then we should go like the Taz. He says that we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't make it. And that's what he said right here. And that was that.
On base,
Now, yeah, so in Losh, it was in Gimel. So we just finished that. Now on the
קמח מצה, בטייסה, סירימל,
cinnamon and cereal. Yeah?
maybe cereal, and it's a mistake.
Uh-huh. Fine. So on the next column, on the left side, on the top, so it skips a few shilas. This is a lot of shilas somebody was asking. So. Tes, Yesh and Gimel Shinui and Amana B'Lisha. There's three different changes which are said about Lisha. Shinuyim, right? Number one, Aleph, Al Yad Al Yad, and Emer Kamakali. It says about Kamakali, about Kamach, which basically was dried out before, the kernel was dried out before it was made into flour. It says you should make it little by little.
That's the shinoi also.
That's a Shinui. Beis, the second Shin is a Shesi, Veidev, Anemer B'Mursin, about Mursin is the brand.
Instead of mixing like this, you just go back.
Instead of going around, you go. Right.
Yeah. Instead of mixing it,
Shesi and Eidev.
right.
Can't go around like that.
Right.
And then the third one is Gimel Shini the Nason Sakamach Va'achim from Nason of Achemis. The third Shini is that you
That the
put
Gemara said.
yeah, all three are what the Gemara said. So like you first put in the flour and then after you put the vinegar.
Could you plunge it up and down also as a shiva? Just about it. Usually you stir like this.
In one place and not around?
Yeah.
In one place?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The shinoi,
It's not in one place. Yeah. So I'm saying I don't know how much you're gonna mix. If you're going in one place, I don't know how much you're gonna mix. I'm saying
It will get enough. It's gonna
it will mix eventually.
Not well.
plunge around.
saying you're not getting all the sides
Right.
and that.
But you will mix eventually.
So
For plunging.
okay, the question is, what about other things? Could we also rely on this first heter of little by little?
Slowly.
Could we also rely on the heter of moving back and shasi native to mix matzah meal and
matzah and regular kemach.
it's matzah meal. After ready matzah, it was made baked into matzah. And then you crush the matzah into.
So it's not flour, it's a matzah. It's a bread. You're mixing bread, not mixing
Right.
a flour. So
Right.
it's not a dash.
It's not
It's
Losh.
lisha, I'm saying. It's not a lisha.
2 points already cooked bread. That's brekla from cooked bread. Made bread.
It's like saying I'm taking bread.
But it's somewhat to the same idea. because you're crushing it into pieces. It's a little thick, so it's not really. Maybe it's not bar gibel. It's not real
It's not
menatera.
bar gibel.
But same for in some opinions. But akupana is still a problem. Because in this case there is lishach lisha. This is one of the rayas. Lishach lisha. Saying in this case.
There is a lisha after lisha?
In this case is lishach lisha. When you say that.
Because you did a lisha first to do the flour for make a matzah.
To make a matzah, and afterwards.
Then it was baked. Then you ground the matzah.
Right.
So then you're doing another lisha now.
Yeah. So
It's the same if I took a bread and I grind the bread and tried to make again dough.
yeah. Right. Same thing.
So
the same, but
he's
people
asking
do.
a
People
question,
make matzah.
maybe
Though.
He's asking a question. Maybe this should be a heta.
I was asking, could you, if you do it back and forth, Shasivetiv is a mutter then?
What should be also?
No, because the Gemara, he's asking based on the Gemara. The Gemara just said these different shinuyim, 3 different
Right.
shinuyim about 3 specific cases.
So you want to know if this is included in
Could
this
this
case?
apply? What can I extend this shinui to other cases? If I do Shasivetiv, could I use a spoon? Or do I have to use my hand? Right, so tshuva. So the answer is like this. So this is also for in our case, in baby cereal and in Yashine the Gibel Murson, the Hu Shasivetiv, there's difference. The Shine of Gibel Murson, which we said, and bran, that if you do it, you could do it with Shasivetiv, back and straight and then sideways. The Gemara says clearly that it doesn't really mix well because this is a small cup, so but people say you have to take it out in between each time, but he's going to say you don't have to. I mean, I didn't just have to be careful not to. So in a bigger bowl, it's not going to mix so well. So he says. It's the best shini that could be because the gibel, the mixing is not done very well. He says, the Gemara says, but it doesn't mix well. So the Gemara says, you could shake it in the keli. The side of it should mix. Also, even then, it doesn't do the best job. It's such a shini that the mixing isn't done properly. Anything which we matter, mashini, which means a blue lerner, which we say if it's pourable, then through shini it's mutter, so it's going to be mutter, which this shini of back and forth. So right, so
either back and forth or shaking the cup.
Right.
Because it's not boiler yofe.
Right.
So it's
So it's going to be okay. So we said the first shini is first step is it has to be blue lerner, it has to be pourable. When you make it on Shabbos, you should try to pour in right away to make a blue lerner right away. You do it little by little.
So be with one fell swoop.
Right,
one
because
shot.
do little by
After
little.
a while, it's still pourable now.
You have to
let's
keep
say?
mixing it. Yeah, so it's still
Not
still
as
pourable.
much anymore.
It's still
It has to be pourable.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So that's the first step. The next step is make sure that you do the opposite of the normal way during the week, pouring in which one first. Then the next thing is that he said. Sorry.
Doesn't that come first? Then you have to reverse the order because if you're making it.
Yeah. So then the next thing he says that you could go back and forth, which means this way and that way, not around. Shasivetiv, and then you could also shake it in the keli. And he's going to say also you could pour it. He's going to say pour it from one keli to another keli.
even though it's not boiler yofe, but it's
It
good.
seems like Ramesh is going to say we're going to talk about this pouring from one keli to another keli. Okay. So v'hine Rashi pirusham the rak pa'machas mel shasivetiv shasi or pa'machas other. So Rashi says that you can only do it one time, one mix that way, one mix the other way.
If I'm going to mix for sure.
It's not going to mix for sure, right? But the Rambam doesn't mention pa'machas one time. It's mashma over here that you their matter he allows even many times back and forth. Baruch HaShulchan Taka brings it to machlekes between Rashi and the Rambam. That's also the Losh in the Gemara says it's mashma. Amar Yehuda menari lekeli masherak pamachas. It's mashma when you pour. It says you should pour it into another keli to mix it. So it's mashma. You can pour it only once. It seems like Rashi sounds like. Af lashon shulchan aruch u'menayne b'keli akeli. Kadeshi sadav. Nami mashma. Also the lashon shulchan aruch that you pour it from one keli to another keli in order to mix. It's also mashma that way that you pour it one time. Geen kasav mikeli akeli. Shum mashkin v'chasav mikeli akeli. Shum v'chein hu ametzias.
Oh, he said to pour from kli to kli. It's another case because that's the way they do it.
That he also shasaved b'keli. Why did he say keli? Because he made it shasaved in the keli. Losh and Rambam, but the Losh and Rambam says in lightness if it didn't mix, if through the shasaved, menadi mikeli akeli, you could pour it from one keli into another keli. He adds another word. Achi yisadim until it mixes. Mashma the yachalitan afilopamim harba. You can pour it back and forth even many times. Achi yisadim. Well, so what's the halacha? You have a machlekes. What's the halacha? Yesh lahakel ahelo shasaved afil ezapam. It says shasaved. The Rambam.
Like the Rambam, you're allowed to do
Not like
Shkiva
Rashi.
Erev.
Right.
Rambam says, Rashi says one time, and
Yes.
he says no.
Yes. Geen masha gam shulchan aruch, because that's also mashma and shulchan aruch, like concerning shasaved, is masha back and forth. The Eserak was Saba Vataiva, because she says only to you're not allowed to move around the spoon or round. Okay, so that's, but it's mashma that back and forth a few times he's matter. He says to pour it into another keli only one time and not more.
This is the third sheet already.
This is.
Because we say, before we said the clear according to everybody is mutter, and he say over here, no, mutter only one time. And then even Rashi doesn't say.
But the Shasavara, you can do as many times as you want.
No, Rashi says Shiva you're allowed to
That's
do
one
one.
time.
But from clear and clear, nobody says how many times. And here he says, no, one time, yes, that's it.
No, the Loshen, he says Loshen is mashma that way. In the Gemara. Yeah. Fine, right there. Fine, so this is concerning about Shasi Vedev and the Shine of shaking it. Talking about Losh. Melacha is Melacha min HaTorah. Shalsur Lisha. Lisha is to make a dough. Same thing also, to make any mixture, you have to make it liquidy, and you have to change around what you put in first, the baby cereal first or the water first, whatever you do different than the weekday, and then you shake back and forth like that. Not around and around. Back and forth. Okay? But the change of gibel ma'at of little by little, that you do a little bit and then a little bit, with no problem with the actual mixing. You're mixing very well, you're just doing a little by little. It says we shouldn't really be matter by bran, only by kali. Which is not mentioned in the Shine. It was only by Mursan. What did it say? By Mursan it says you should do Shasi Vedev. It doesn't say you could do a little bit. So the claimer, the saver, Magen Avraham said Pratan Aleph, Hashem Harambam, Matigam Shin, the Mat of Mursan. Magen Avraham brings to the Ramban that even little by little. Right, but he's saying that the actual mixing is mixing well. So it's not as big as the Shine as the Shasi Vedev.
Where it's mixing less well.
Right. So the claim of the Sefer Ramban, the Mashanaka, the Gemara, the Mursan Shini, the Shasi Vedev, the Ma'at in the Eitzateva, the Mursan Behemoth. You have to say what do they say? Why do they say it's the Gemara didn't say this Eitz of doing little by little for behemoths? So it's because it's not a good Eitz for them. It's not a Charba. For behemoths you need a lot.
To mix it well.
The Yanach Hazman is going to take a long time to make it. So that's why it's not practical. Because the Tiritz Baruch HaShulchan. Achim Kein Gamish will say Shaykh Lesser, but he said nevertheless there's still a reason to be asked it because Kevin the Mafsha, you're doing something and that's what's doing on Shabbat more. There's an easier way to do it and there's a longer way to do it. You shouldn't do the longer way. How the bed Aflamet Mafsha Biluch for Ayin Sham etc. Therefore, you shouldn't be matters. With Aces and Mishnah Brutus, so Katan Vav be Halacha, Masa Mursum. He says you can't do it. Only for a person. Another answer says that only for a person. So we're not doing math is not going to help for mercy. We don't even say we don't really say math. I'm saying I'm saying in Blila Ava for sure math. The Gemara says math by Blila Ava by something thick. We're talking about maybe we can use a shine for Blila Raka. So he says that you're doing more work and it's not necessary now to do it on Shabbos and Shabbat doesn't hold the Svara. So he says we're canceling out the little by little option. Since it's not such a big shine, since you're doing it, you're doing it very well, the mixing.
You actually come out with a better product because of
right. Okay, now we're up to.
I'm asking, why we have to make this on Shabbos? Why can't we make it like Friday and then give the baby tomorrow?
Sometimes maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not as good. I don't know. I never experimented it.
You have to eat it when it's fresh made.
Maybe it's better that way.
Otherwise it'll be like a rock cement.
But you see later on it gets harder.
No, I'm saying, so if I make it like this and keep it in the fridge and Shabbos want to give the baby, he's not going to eat it. It's going to be like
maybe
a
didn't make enough.
rock.
Maybe this. It could be a lot of circumstances. But it's not only baby cereal. It's also it could also be by other things, other foods also. The shine de nesinas kamach. Now what about the shine de nesinas kamach? Let's say the third change we said that the changing if you're putting first the kamach, first the flour, but afterwards the water. Mashal the gedura man shine the matmat. Seems that's the lowest level of shine. That a matmat most of the shesisava. If it's a thick shesisa in the Gemara, not la halacha. We said that you can do little by little by its thick. Mashagam kadake, even normally you can go around. But if it's softer, then you can do a lot with the change. What's the change? But you can't use that for the ava. It's mashma that it's much more it's a lower level of shine.
Yeah.
Lower level of shine. Masha, therefore, you can't matter the shine if it says a different shine, right?
I'm just a little machine from this point. We're for sure talking about klishi, there's no bishul, right?
There's no bishul. Yeah, even klishi, it's not so pashut. I'm saying you have to understand that. I don't want to go into bishul over here. You have to. Yeah, I'm saying bishul is another whole shiloh.
How do you take hot water, let's say, and pour it onto this?
It's not so pashut that you could do even a klishlishi in let's say oatmeal or something. It's not so pashut either. Certain things, if this is finishing the Melacha, this whole discussion, that's another shot. I'm talking about the Gemara says Kulius is funny. There's certain cases like fish, which is very.
It's kalibish.
It's not. The kalibish is there's two things. There's yireyim. There's whatever. Let's talk about. You can make lukewarm. You make something which is.
So you're saying it's not hot enough for a bishul.
I'm talking about warm or not yatzalas, but
it's not yatzalas.
Not getting into the bishul shiloh.
So it's below yatzalas.
Yeah. Saying you could.
The opposite. When you keep a baby food like this, you make sure it's not so hot.
Right, but also sometimes people don't like when it's cold, so they make it warmish.
Warm is not. There's nothing.
Right, as long as not yatzalas, but it's not a problem.
Nope.
Right.
You're never going to see somebody making it with hot water.
No. Sometimes you could leave it out and let it cool afterwards and say, this is what you had. You
don't do it. People don't do it.
Right.
They're very careful with it.
Yeah. Aber ba'arach ha'shulchan matzach shinei de nesinas kamach tchila. But ba'arach ha'shulchan, they say you need a shinei nesinas kamach tchila. Ach ba'ava de mat. V'yilei yidur minali. He wants to say, in the Gemara, basically, the Gemara is, according to the Bisa Yehuda, which that's not the halacha, the Gemara says that if you make a if it's thick, even if it's thick, if you do little by little, then it's okay, according to Bisa Yehuda. So the Mesha says, so we didn't mention over there that you could switch it around the order. So it seems to be that won't help for this. The Aruch HaShulchan said that the Gemara meant also both, that you need both of these. So you don't have an ayah that it's worse than the mat. The Gemara mashma shu harbet tzarich shinei de kamak tchila. Ba'ava aser. Kim shotin gam ba'ava. And because it's hot after my tchila av teilu hachim. So he says the Gemara's mashma that if it's switched around, then it's not going to help at all for Ava. Not like that of Shulchan. He wants to say that we don't basically have this heter by thick. So he says, but we don't really have this heter. Machine the chassis later mutter Africa. And what about the machine of chassis? Do you have to use your hand? No, it says you could use a calf, you could use a spoon. So the murson who made a flamako, by when he makes the food for the animals, the murson with the brand, he uses a stick. To make the calf, that's what they used for it. It was like a spoon. Okay.
Now we're going to a different food. Mishchalim.
Mishchalim is crest, chardal, must.
Chardal is
Marav hetiv, achletiv.
it's the yellow stuff that you eat with chardal. What is it called? Mustard. That's chardal.
Yeah, but he's talking at the way making it. And it's from the seeds.
Crushing seeds.
Right.
Chardal is it's a shmir that comes from the crush. Chardal seeds.
Because they cause it so much it became.
So,
Mishchalim is what?
it's called cress.
Cress?
Cress, I think C-R-E-S-S. What?
Watercress.
It's going? What is this?
It's like a type of grain salad, like a type of leaf.
It's a leaf. So you're
No.
allowed to shove it.
No?
So, these things got crushed up and they're working. No, so he says that you're not allowed to move it very
You're not allowed
strongly.
to mix it strong stone because.
I said Amma Bakaf, the says you shouldn't use a spoon then. So he says, Pashul, and he's like the Melacha and Rashi. When you beat the eggs,
right?
that's what it means. You shouldn't beat it. The change is you shouldn't use a spoon. That's the way you beat it. You can do it slowly for the kaf without beating it. That's the derech treifa. That's the normal way. So he says, Rama says you shouldn't use a spoon. Okay, we can skip this. So that's basically the whole shinny. But if you have a different shinny, because the whole shinny is that you're not doing it hard and you're not doing the normal way, and so therefore you shouldn't use a spoon. But if you have a shasi v'ediv, then you're allowed to use a spoon.
And slowly.
Shasi v'ediv doesn't say
Not that slow.
shasi v'ediv.
Because that's the shine that you don't slowly.
No, slowly is for those things which you usually do. You beat it. Those things which when you mix it, you beat it. So
Then you.
So if you do it slowly and without a spoon. Okay. Now, and the next thing, Yud, just want to finish up. Yud. Kasser Chazanish, the Afsher Beheter Shasi Veidiv, Udafka Shametzi Atar Ben Shasi Veidiv. He says you have to take it out in between each one. And when you do one way, pick it up, and then you.
Like Rashi.
No,
Rashi
says
says one time.
you can only do that Shasi Veidiv one time.
No, one time you take out.
You can do it again and again.
No, you
Here.
take out and again.
And here he's saying between each Shasi Veidiv you have to take it out.
Take it out.
He's saying crisscross, pick up, crisscross.
That's the
pick
word.
up.
I use that word all the time.
Where am I? Crisscross, pick up,
So it
crisscross,
says-
pick up.
The Melacha Hadeish kan sivu, because maybe you're mixing it around. After the chayz sis in the middle, you're mixing it around in the middle. So Katie Shlim Ma'is says, in Avadul Adinim Zarak Pam Shasi Pam Erev, if you're careful for short, do it one time Shasi, one time Erev, you mutter apple it's not a problem to even without taking it out. You don't have to take it out each time. Seems like maybe not to be careful to mix it in the middle.
Only X, you're gonna make a circle.
Therefore he said maybe you should do it. Therefore the better you should take it out. If the Isha, Zahira, a woman is careful, takes it higher, you can tell her and she's going to be careful, it's not a problem. And a very good shina is the next thing, Yir Aleph. It says, he asks a shina which is not mentioned before. He wants to know, he says, by tchina, could you turn over use the handle of the spoon, or of the fork, or with your hand? Is that a shine? So he says, yeah, for sure it's a shine. So then you can even do a round and around. So that's another way you can turn over the spoon and mix around, and that's also a shine. Fine, so we know how to make the baby cereal.
Sure. First get a baby.
Yeah, but even not baby cereal, you have also for, he says, also let's say for matzah meal and for anything else, this is a rule which you could use for basically anything. These are the rules. And I'm saying anything you want, any mixture you want to make, it has to have all these conditions. I'm just bringing one example. You have anything which is, it has to be a bli l'raka, it has to be able to be liquidy enough that to be able to pour from one to the other. It can't be stuck like a dip in one place. You have to make it bli l'raka, that's the first thing. That makes it the rabbanon. The next thing is that you have to change around. If usually you put the food in first and then you pour in the liquid, you have to change around to do the opposite. If you don't know which way to do it, so if it's a tzeder gadol, so then you're allowed to first put in first the food and then afterwards the liquid. And then when you mix it, you can only mix it shasi veitiv, crisscross, and do many times that. And in the same keli, you can only shake it. You can only shake it. You shake it in one keli, but to pour into one keli, another keli to mix it, you're going to do once. And then the last thing is so he says another shina you could do is you could turn over the spoon, use the like
a finger,
and move it around. So that's so this is nothing to do. I'm saying not only this is one example of baby shina, but
on Shabbos morning, let's say before we eat the kugel over here. We have some people are professional to make mix dip to mix the.
What do they mix?
So they mix
and
garlic, chardal, what else? And it's okay, thick.
They take garlic is like small little pieces of garlic.
I'll find out this Shabbos.
Shum.
Yeah.
Garlic shum. That's already roasted with some kind of other.
No, but that's mamash lash.
I'd be interested if you find out.
Now what about the sauce?
Actually, he's doing it before Shabbos.
What about the sauce that Yosef makes?
That's what I'm talking about. He's doing it before Shabbos.
Who makes it?
Before Shabbos.
Mix it?
Yeah, he makes it before Shabbos.
He makes a hot sauce
ask him how he makes
with
it.
kugel. I never tasted it.
Fine, I want to ask him how he makes it. Understand why?
Because it's